Welcome to From the Editor with Larry Gordon, where newsmakers unpack the stories shaping the Jewish community.
So, when Joe Rogan starts his podcasts, and I listen to them, I used to listen to them more than I do now, but he starts usually in the middle of a thought. You're supposed to try to figure out, what's he talking about? But that's his shtick, and I kind of like it,
Yeah.
So you start in the middle of a conversation, and it perks up people's attention because they don't know what you're talking about.
Right. I've only listened to one of his podcasts.
This is the, what's that?
I've only listened to one of his podcasts.
All right, yeah.
It was like a 3-hour one with...
with Donald Trump or Elon Musk.
No, with the Kennedy, with Mr.
RFK,
Yeah.
RFKJ.
That was like 3+ hours long.
Oh. Yeah, so was one with Trump, and so was one with Musk, Elon Musk.
Good guess.
Anyway, this is Larry Gordon coming to you from the offices of the Five Towns Jewish Times. This is our electronic version of the Five Towns Jewish Times, pretty much. Our guests are one of our star columnists, Malkie.
And your daughter.
I'm going to get to that. It's a long podcast. Malkie GHM. Okay, that's
GHM.
Malkie Gordon Hirsch Magence.
I love it.
Okay, and there's no space between the. We just go straight across.
That's right.
Okay, and my daughter also, our oldest of 6 children, and she's the oldest and the wisest. And her dear friend from down the block in Woodmere, Julie Holzer. You probably have seen them on their own blogger thing. What do you call it?
It's just the Instagram stories where we have a good time.
And it's only on Instagram?
Exchanging war stories and also promoting her business.
Okay.
Which, by the way, is
what?
But
in Cedarhurst.
we have more fun than promoting. I think
No,
we
of
just
course
have.
not. Yeah.
We give like that, like Lucy and Ethel vibe.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
everything is a promotion. Everything's a
That's
promotion
true.
these days.
True. Today's
But,
world, yes.
we'll get to that in a second. But there's a lot of things we want to discuss. First of all, for those that have been following us, we used to do a podcast called Father Daughter, which ran for a few weeks, as long as Nachi, Meaningful People fame.
Not quite as long.
He had offices upstairs from our current office,
Yeah.
so it was easy for us to do. But now we got all this fancy new equipment, and
I was completely shocked.
This is very.
I was
wow.
not expecting any of this when I walked in.
What'd you expect?
I thought your cell phone and your office desk
You
were
thought maybe two paper cups.
And then I walk in with
paper-
Julie. Julie's like, Malkie, you didn't tell me any of this.
Two paper
I
cups.
didn't know. I've never seen this before.
Okay.
She was waiting.
There's computers and wires and microphones.
There's like a
and
man actually
a
doing
producer,
something.
Producer and a
behind there.
director.
What's going on here?
Yeah, she's used to when I show up with like a little microphone that Rosie would use to like
She
sing
got it
on.
on Amazon. And usually it doesn't pick up sound.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is big
little
league stuff.
different.
This is
This
big
is a
league
little
stuff.
upgrade.
A little bit legit.
Anyway, you really, besides your column in the Five Towns Jewish Times, which touches very many aspects of life,
Yes.
you've also made a name for yourself as a food blogger.
Yes.
Okay. And I always found it interesting that I remember when I was a kid, people used to walk around with these large radios on their shoulders. You remember that at all?
Sure.
Walk down the street with large radios on their shoulders.
I'm an 80s kid.
As soon as everyone had a large radio, it got in style to get a little radio, with the headphones, and you wore it on your belt.
Yeah.
Everyone bought the large one, out of style, out the window, little ones.
True.
Now, the same thing with food blogging. Everybody became a food blogger.
Yeah.
And as soon as everybody was baking and cooking online, all of a sudden, everything is Wegovy and Ozempic, and it's just the opposite. It's like the antidote to all the food blogging now.
Yeah.
And now they have Wegovy liquid. They have injections.
I didn't know this.
Yes.
Now they have liquid?
Liquid Wegovy.
Is that supposed to be for the kids?
No, it's supposed to be people that don't want to take a shot.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
Is it less
there's
or more
pills.
potent, or is it the same thing?
I think it gets into your system faster, maybe.
Oh,
I
my
don't know.
gosh.
You have to ask a nutritionist or a doctor.
Very interesting.
So I find that there's a certain pattern to how these things get marketed. As soon as everyone's eating everything online,
Then we just
and all of a
basically
sudden,
create something to make them completely dead inside.
I think the obesity rate in America is like 65% or 70%.
But do you think that's because of our overeating or because of the how the food is being made today and processed? I don't know if it's because
I think that could
every
be it.
American is overeating. I think it's because of the stuff they're putting in the food.
65% of America is obese, okay?
Yes,
and then
but-
there's another percentage is morbidly obese.
Right.
That's a different category of their own.
It's
And then the antidote to that is Ozempic,
Right.
Wegovy.
Yeah.
What's the other one called? Something or other? Manjaro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tirzepatide.
What?
Tirzepatide.
I never.
There's a bunch of
heard
different
that.
ones.
Okay, so it started with injections.
Yes.
It really started with people that had
It's diabetes medication.
Diabetes medication, and they
I wonder
discovered.
who found out. Like, how did that
Well,
start?
doctors discovered that the diabetics were losing weight. So they figured, why
Wasn't
just
it once upon a time? Didn't migraine medication also curb appetite?
migraine medication?
Yeah, I think
I don't
so.
know. I don't know. Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it does the trick too. Whatever it does,
So
that
interesting.
it reduces your appetite, and
Yeah.
you just. It's like a miracle thing because you end
But
up.
then, like, do you have to
end
stay
up
on it
eating
forever?
less. What?
Do you have to stay on it forever?
What's the big deal? You take a shot once a week. You know, it takes a few seconds.
I guess.
Or you could drink it the way you. Anyway, just not to get bogged down in the food blogging business, but that's very popular still. I think you go to a lot of restaurants, right?
Yes.
Grand
Go to
openings.
restaurants. I have products being sent to my house from companies that want to promote their new product, their new
merchandise,
thing that they
right.
want to sell, and they ask
Right.
me to use it in a recipe or use it when I'm cooking. It could be an appliance. It could be a lot of different things.
You know, you could
And-
have product placement also.
Yeah.
Like you know, if you see a can of Coke in a movie,
Yeah.
Coca-Cola is paying for that.
That's
can to
meaning.
be
That's
there.
like meaningful people level.
Meaningful people does that.
Not just the kosher cook
You could
level.
do that. You could.
But trust me, I know.
You could wear.
That's also how we got started together. We would make boards.
Yes.
We made boards, like food boards.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people were like blown away. Like it was like a new concept
Yeah.
in the Jewish kosher world. And we did even, I think we went on Naomi Nachman's
Yeah.
kosher.com show.
Right.
And we put together a Shavuos cheese board.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, like it's so funny how like when you put yourself out there in any even small way in front of a camera, people are under the assumption that you have any idea what you're talking about. And
yeah.
most people don't understand the concept of faking it until you make it. Like you think I'm an expert on this because I do it? I do it because my family needs to eat, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I know what I'm doing.
Listen,
You know?
you know,
no,
they say-
but that's also like I was listening to someone say how it's almost like a little bit dangerous because now today everyone thinks that they're
Yeah.
a news outlet and that they have like
Yeah.
they're their own editor in chief.
Yeah.
But some of these are not reliable people to be listening
No.
to.
The fact of the matter is, there are thousands, tens of thousands of podcasts.
God.
you know?
Right, which is
everyone and their
scary.
uncle is doing
So
a podcast,
crazy.
and you know, only the good ones are the ones that endure and
I
last.
hope, I
Right.
hope,
you know?
but there are some people out there today who are spewing things, and you're like,
Okay,
wow, how do you have a platform? You know,
Now they're peaking. Those
Yeah.
you know, if you're
Yeah.
talking about Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens, if you're familiar with that, are you
Yeah.
familiar
I was
with
actually
that?
afraid that you were going to bring up politics, but I actually know
No, it's
those
not
two
really
people.
politics.
No, I'm saying I know those two people.
Okay, and Megyn Kelly, it's really a Jewish issue,
Right, it's
Because
an
the way it's
anti-Semitism
evolving
issue.
right now
Yeah.
on the other side of the spectrum
Right.
is Mark Levin
Right,
and Ben
right,
Shapiro,
right.
and now Barry Weiss, who's
Right.
becoming the head of CBS News.
yeah, I
Wow.
saw that.
And the biggest
Yeah.
problem with her and the biggest problem with Ben Shapiro
Yeah.
and Mark Levin is that they have one thing in common. That is that they are Jewish. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens
Mm-hmm.
have made a name for themselves by, you know, trying to undermine Israel, which is just a way of camouflaging something that's just innate in them,
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
which you know, I've written it in the paper without you know any qualifications. It's just plain Jew hatred,
Right.
Which is natural. That's what it says in the Torah, right?
Right.
Esav son of Yaakov.
Right.
You know, it's just natural, and they're just proving that.
Right.
You know, but so you two have made a name for yourself independently, right?
somewhat.
Your neighbors, like
Yeah.
you said before we went on the camera, that you have 4 boys, right?
Right.
Yes, I do.
And
Well, that
and
was
one
that's
girl,
like really
4
what
boys and
connect.
one girl.
That's like really what.
And you have
connects
4
us.
boys.
Yeah, because we
No
both have 4
girls.
boys.
we met through a friend of mine
Schools?
from high school,
Uh-huh.
who lived in Riverdale, which is Julie's stomping ground, where she grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we had just both had our
Fourth.
baby, our 4th, Gavi and Ozzy.
Ozzy, yeah.
And we met in Central Perk.
Yes.
I remember they were both holding their babies, and I was horrified. I'm like, you bring your children outside when they're any less than 3 years old before they're toilet trained? Like, are you savages? Why would you do that? And she was like, who else is going to watch him? And I'm like, you're a
It was-
babysitter. But anyway, and then she said, I'm really looking for a house in the 5 towns. Can you help me?
Where'd you live at the time? In Queens?
Queens.
Queens. Yeah.
Good, you got out just in time.
I
think.
yes.
And then we would see each other at these Hanukkah workshops or any
Just
like
various
Arav Yantiv
things.
workshops because she has a business that sells monogram gifts, teachers' gifts, weekend bags, whatever, anything that you can
That's in-
monogram,
that's
she
in
sells
Cedarhurst.
it.
That's in Cedarhurst.
Yeah.
down the block.
On Central
She was
Avenue.
so
Central
epic.
Avenue.
So she would see me, and like every time she saw me, she remembered that like I worked in real estate. So she would say, "I need a house. I need a house." And then one day, 2 doors away from me, I saw somebody knocking a sign into the front lawn, and I took a picture. It was a Friday, and I took a picture and I wrote, "Do you want to be my neighbor?"
No, you wrote, "Hey, stranger, want to be my neighbor?"
and that was it. A week
And
later,
I'm like, "Is this like a Sesame Street block?
And then-
Like,
and then a week-
I'll be there."
That was
yeah.
that was Mr. Rogers, I
And
think.
like literally, we have one house that divides
Really?
Yes.
us two.
Oh, you're that
Yeah.
close?
And they're like
imagine
an older.
if we didn't. Imagine if it was
Right.
just like if we were like,
It would be amazing.
It'd be
well,
crazy.
our
We
husbands
do love our neighbor.
joke that they're going to buy that house and,
and then
use it as like
make
a
it a
Svarim
Judaica.
Oh, really?
storage
Yes.
center.
Who's in between? Who's in between?
The box.
Oh, the box are in between.
And they
too?
raised their children 10
Yes.
years ago.
Right, they're older.
So like
When-
our kids have gotten into like a lot of different antics with their house being
You mean like trouble? You mean
the brunt of
They make they're troublemakers. Your kids
ripping up styrofoam in July
I mean, they'll
and
have
making it look like a winter
they'll have,
wonderland.
like, a baseball like fly into their
Window.
face,
Yeah.
like in the middle of walking into their house.
They broke windows by the neighbors.
I broke a window by her.
yeah,
house.
by me, and
But it's just sort of like, okay, sorry about that.
So who
I
pays?
won't let
Who
it
pays
happen
for the
again.
window? Who pays for the window?
it's Hariel.
That's not true. I think we did.
You did?
I think so.
I don't even know.
I hope we did.
Well, who cares? At
Yeah.
this point, it's
Yeah,
like we're.
so-
But yeah.
it's like, can I borrow milk? Oh, I broke a window. Like
Yeah, so
that.
I don't know how we got on the subject of the. We're talking about the blogosphere, and when
Well,
yeah,
and like
so-
tens of millions of people, not tens of millions, but thousands of people have their own podcasts.
Yeah.
And if you look on YouTube, most of them have 11 views.
Right.
Do they really? I never even looked at
Yeah,
that.
some of them have 16 views, and you have ones that have 800,000 views
Yeah,
and
yeah.
1.4 million
Yeah.
views. And that's what makes them popular. For example,
Right.
if you look on YouTube, where you could subscribe to the
Mm-hmm.
YouTubes, Naki has like 400,000 subscribers,
Mm-hmm.
which is a lot. Of course, it's limited, mostly Jewish.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say only Orthodox, but I'll say mostly Jewish, although I'm sure he has plenty of non-Jews around the world watching his stuff.
Right.
But Megyn Kelly has 3.8 million subscribers.
Crazy.
And
It's-
Tucker Carlson has
right.
more than that. And that's why they keep the attack, because the Jews make the news.
Right.
Jews make the news.
Yeah, that's it. That's
no,
it.
they're making money off of this. There's
Absolutely.
no, there's
Absolutely.
no way.
And
They're
and
not.
it's going well
Yeah.
for them.
Right, but it's scary that people are looking up to them as reliable news sources. That's what I'm saying. Like in the old days, we just had the newspaper. That's what we read.
Right.
That's where you got your news. And like
But there were things written in the newspaper that weren't
that
always.
you might not agreed with, but now everyone starts their own platform and they are their own editor in chief, and they could talk about whatever they want.
When I was in college in the 1970s, I'll tell you that I took a media course, and there was a textbook by Marshall McLuhan, where he said that someday everyone's going to have their own TV program.
Oh boy.
Okay,
You said that in one of our original podcasts. I remember that.
right?
That was, and I remember thinking to myself, what it must have been like for you to hear that and be like,
No,
"It's
everyone
never gonna
thought that's
happen.
nonsense.
Never gonna happen.
In those days, you had Walter Cronkite and Tom Brokaw and Peter
You probably were
Jennings.
like, well, they're gonna
These
go
were
to the
news
radio
people.
station, and how's that gonna work?
But look, everybody can have their own TV show now, and
you can tell, by the way, if you ever like doom scroll, do you know what doom scrolling is? It's a
What-
little bit of new verbiage.
What's it called?
Yeah,
Doom
wait,
scrolling?
What is that?
Dude?
Doom scrolling.
Doom scrolling. No,
Doom
what is
scrolling
it?
is like when you wake up at 5 a.m. or whatever, and you just, the worst thing to do at 5 a.m. is reach for your phone.
Right.
Yeah, I
It
don't do
could start
I
out
don't do it.
innocently where you're just like, you just press on your phone, you're like, 5. And then something sort of like makes you grab the phone, and then you unlock it, and then you go on Instagram or social media, and then all of a sudden it's 7:30, and you're just like, how'd that happen?
Really?
Black hole.
And then the next day, 5 Amazon boxes
Oh,
show up at your
yes.
door.
By the way, there is such a concept. Have you ever ordered stuff in the middle of the night, not even realizing?
Well, I once looked at eyeglass frames online.
I think your
Now
mom
they're-
probably has. I don't
now
know
they're-
about your dad.
I think they're following me.
Next thing you know, you have a collection like Elton John.
Yeah.
You have no idea how that happened.
I'm not buying them, but they're following me. Can I get my coffee? You don't mind? Okay.
That's amazing.
I'm sorry. Listen. So that's how they function. You know.
Right.
Right.
The worst thing you could do is possibly look online when someone's offering you money. to lend you money at a very inexpensive. At a very inexpensive interest rate.
Yeah.
Just peek. What is that rate? What is that rate? And I get a barrage of phone calls
Oh, my
from
God.
people, and you have to press 9 if you don't want them to call you again.
Yeah.
But most of the time I don't press 9, and they just keep calling.
Do you have text messages that come to your phone selling things to you now? Happens all the time for me.
Really? What kind
Are
of
you
stuff?
serious?
Yeah, it could be a clothing store that I bought something in one time, and then you have to press stop or unsubscribe. The people try to sell you things on every item of technology that you own. It's incredible.
Well,
what could be
it's a
done
big
today.
it's a big world, and,
Yeah.
and they're doing a lot of business.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk. The kids. This is being recorded on Christmas Day.
Yes.
On Thursday, the 25th of December. We have you have a lot of birthdays in our family. I think the 24th, 25th, 26th.
Yes, grandchildren.
Right,
Yes, I
right.
got scared for a second, but yeah,
No,
they're
grandchildren. Well, they're my
Yeah.
grandchildren.
We call
They're your children.
We call the grandchild that was born on Christmas Day Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jesus Gordon.
Who was Christmas was
Aaron.
No, who was born? When was Tehillah born?
Teal was born Christmas
26.
26.
26.
Yeah, and 24th is
And 25th is
Aaron.
today is Aaron. Yesterday.
No,
was
yesterday
Aaron?
was Aaron. Yeah,
What, Aaron
Aaron's
Franklin.
feet. Yeah, teenies.
Yeah. Let's talk
So
about.
the nice part is that's Ariel and Malkie's husband.
Yes.
Both husbands were really close and good
Yes.
friends and got along really well. And that's almost how I became, know you, Malkie's parents, both of the Gordons.
Yeah.
Right.
And
And you're friendly with Dovey and his wife.
yes, yes. And honestly, even like through like all the fun we have and the happiness we have, we
Yeah.
also sort of bonded on like a level of grief, meaning I lost my father a year before Malkie lost Maishi. So it's a different person to lose, different type
Yes.
of figure, but
Yes.
we had that in common. And obviously my husband had a loss similar to her children when he was younger.
Yeah.
So there's a lot, our friendship is like a lot of
lot
layers,
of overlapping,
a lot of
similarities.
deep things there.
But if those things are going to happen if you stick around, not,
Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
not
God.
necessarily.
I hope we stick
It's
around.
preferable. It's preferable that it happens
Happy.
in the chronological, order, the way our universe, our world was designed
Yeah.
by God.
Yeah.
That's preferable, and it happens, out of turn, so to speak.
Right.
Definitely.
It could readjust the entire direction
Right.
of your life.
Definitely.
Right, for
You
sure.
know, and I think that's where your journalism career started. I think pretty much
For sure. That's
Right?
the first time. Yeah. I had
So tell us
never
about how
written
you
anything.
got. Let's make believe we're doing this for the first time.
Okay. How did I get started?
Wait, I thought you were a makeup artist.
No, what motivated you to sit down and start writing? Okay, you were an adult. You
Yeah.
were not a writer.
I was not a writer.
You didn't know you were a writer.
I was
You never
dabbling
tried
in
writing.
real estate
Oh.
and food blogging. I did makeup way before that.
Wait, hold on. Were you a good student? Did you write well? in school?
Terrible. No, I never wrote.
Did you
I never
try?
wrote a
Did-
report
did you
in
try?
my life. No, definitely didn't
You know,
try.
you may know it. You might,
used
you
to-
might have discovered that you know how to write.
But you know what? If you guys were telling me to do something, I did the opposite.
Uh-huh.
That's how kids work. You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I just had that experience. I went with my son to Israel night, and my husband says to me, he's like, just don't say anything. Let him guide us.
Let
'Cause
him
the minute,
guide us.
The minute I say, oh, that yeshiva presented so well, it's like, oh, that's off
Forget
my
it.
list.
I'm not.
Off the list, yeah.
why do you think I was applying there?
I think it's cute. My parents think that like this is only something that happened to them. I'm like, no, guys.
it's a universal
This is very, very
parenting.
common.
People are not interested in what's happening with the next
It's
person.
called
you know?
contrarian. There's a lot of kids that do this.
Okay, so you didn't do well in school.
No. My favorite comment from a teacher was, she's very bright, but she doesn't apply herself. And I was like, no, duh.
I got a few of those and some other
Yeah,
comments.
it's okay. I wasn't insulted by it. I was like, yeah, I know this. You're not really telling me anything I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I
it doesn't
had
make me
the,
want to try more. I won't be trying
I had
harder.
when I was in school, I had a similar experience.
Oh, I never knew this.
Really?
Tell me more.
Well, you're sitting on a couch already, so
Should I put my feet up?
no, don't put your feet up. Just
Get
relax.
the popcorn.
I had somebody.
There's a neck roll over there, Julie.
know-
Okay, hold on 1 minute.
I had in the seventh and eighth grades. I I'd get in trouble because I didn't get grades that my parents wanted me to get.
Yeah.
So once I went to high school, I figured I never admitted this to anybody in a podcast before.
Wow.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
But,
Get ready.
Break
I-
open the champagne.
I figured if I signed the first report card in ninth grade, all the signatures are going to match through the whole 4 years.
By the way, I'm guilty of doing the same thing with you. You remember that?
No, I don't remember
I
that.
stole your stamp.
You
Yeah, I don't
forged
know
a
about that, but
signature.
I
It was
signed-
an amazing moment of my life, except until they found out.
Stamps for what?
You had a Larry Gordon stamp.
And what you signed? My checks?
I signed all the tests that I didn't want you guys to
Oh,
discover.
really? I didn't even know I had a
You
stamp.
had a Larry Gordon stamp, and by the way, the day that I discovered it on your desk was like gold mine.
So
Like all of my prayers are answered until Ema found out about it, and oh my God, that
Well-
was a scary
And
day.
but the teachers in school must have
They
been like,
had no-
why
they
are
didn't-
they approving these grades?
Why are they stamping an official stamp? It's like a paid stamp.
It's like she got a
Larry
40
Gordon.
on the test.
You know, I was sailing along with my signed report cards beautifully.
Yeah.
It's like most of 11th grade.
Yeah.
And then my mother spoke to one of my friend's parents, and
Yeah.
she said to her, "Did you see their report cards?" My mother said, "They get report cards."
That's amazing.
I had
By
them-
the way,
I had
well,
them convinced there's no report cards.
By the way, it's funny. You would think that today's day and age, 2025, but I'm that parent.
You are.
Are there-
I'm that
are-
parent.
are there
You
report cards? Are there
the
still
report
report
card
cards
comes
today?
to my inbox. Like you can't even deny
Oh,
it.
it
Like
comes online
it's
now?
not- yeah, of course, it comes online. It comes in paper. It comes in every mode you can imagine. I don't open it. I don't look
You
at
don't
it.
care?
No, Jeremy reads it out loud to me because he wants me to know, and I'm like, la 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 la. I don't hear anything.
What's your
I just don't want to.
What's your outlook? Your outlook is that those years not important educationally or academically,
Pretty much.
on how they're going to evolve as a young adult and
Yep.
an adult.
Also, they don't learn much,
I don't think
so-
so.
No?
That's not
Okay.
the case. I
Well-
think it's a cumulative type of thing. You know,
No,
You
I think one parent is always going to be that strict like one, and one parent's going to be the chill one, because your kids know. Like when we want Uber at 11 at night, ask mommy. Like my kids know too. Like when we want something,
When they
ask
want
mommy.
something that's a little bit unreasonable, mommy.
they come to you.
Yes. If anything
Uh-huh.
else,
Like I've been with Malkie, and Rosie calls her on her watch. Like she doesn't have a cell phone.
Rosie has a gizmo watch that can make phone
Make
calls.
phone
I
calls?
didn't know, by the way, that it had the capabilities it does.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't have gotten it for her if I knew this, because in middle of the day, she's at her desk. I see on my phone, "Hi, mommy, I love you." I'm like, why aren't you learning math? Why are you messaging
It's called
me?
a gizmo. It's from Verizon.
First of all, it's tiny. How does she even see the print? She has
Oh,
glasses.
It's really a
It sends
safety.
out text messages.
It's like a
But-
tracking
but
device.
it's not,
It's
you can't speak on it, can you?
She
You can't
calls
speak on
me
it?
like old school, like
before her
this.
bus parks on Arbuckle and Poe, and she's like, "Mommy, I'm really afraid." Dava one time told me that the wind can sweep me away if it's really strong. Can you
it's-
come pick me up from the bus stop? I'm like, "It's around the corner from the house. You don't have to cross the street. Can you just do it yourself?" No.
At least you have, your communication skills are,
Yeah.
Really strong.
really
She's
decay
8,
very
so-
well. She's doing
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
She's
Yes.
doing great.
Thank
She's 8
God.
and a half, actually, right?
It's true. August.
Almost 8 and a half.
Yeah.
So tell me about what it's like to raise children.
Today,
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
it's
I
a
mean,
jungle.
let's talk. Before we get to that, I know that, but the kids are in yeshiva, so they're a little bit secluded from what's really going on.
It's true. By
You
the way,
have-
that's why you pay what you pay.
You have we'll
Not
get to
for-
that. We'll
not
get
for them
that
to
in a
learn what
second.
they're supposed to be
Yeah,
learning.
You
They're
have
not.
you have a son learning in Israel.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So what's that like? That must be a big change for you. Do you miss
Of
him?
course.
Do you know? Do you know he's there?
Yes, I know he's there.
Okay. Yeah,
She knows by the credit card statement
I
that
do.
comes.
Oh, yeah?
Ooh, he had sushi last night.
Oh,
Where does he go? What does he spend money on?
food.
Like where? What's
Okay,
his favorite
this,
places
by the way,
to go?
is such a today's day and age
Right.
expense
Problem.
Last week, I thought to myself, okay, Shabbos Hanukkah, he'll want to be with family. He'll go to Jeremy's girls. He'll go somewhere family oriented. Yeah, 8 boys and I are gonna rent an Airbnb in Sfat.
Yeah, he told me about that.
Who? Okay, in 1998,
No, nothing.
Where did you go Shabbos Hanukkah?
Nothing.
You know,
Like, if you were
You stayed-
lucky,
you stayed in your dorm.
either you stayed in your dorm, ate by a neighbor,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
you went to family that would have you.
So how much
know?
was the Airbnb in Svat?
I don't know.
How much did he spend
Ask
on
Jeremy.
it? There was 8 boys, no?
8 boys, but like
What
again,
do they do for
these
food?
are okay. Another thing that's, by the way, a 2025 problem. It's not. I don't want to say problem, but it's these issues, the things that are our kids in Israel are dealing with or think are normal today, are so not normal. How many kids in his school have a parent, a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle that have a place there? Casual, like as if it.
I think a lot. I thought more than you think have.
That's
good,
what I'm saying. My
like
point
blood,
is
good
that
blood connections
he's like, yeah,
in
I'm gonna go to
Israel.
my friend. His grandmother has a place.
Yeah.
What?
But they also have access to things that we never had access to. It's,
Yeah.
it's just a whole
Well,
different,
listen,
a whole
you
different
know,
Go to a
world.
hotel. Go to a hotel on a Shabbos where I
You
don't
know,
have plans, and I'm just gonna go to a hotel with my friend.
Back in the late 70s,
What?
when I used to talk into a microphone like this on a regular radio
Yeah.
station, so Rabbi Meir Kahana, of blessed memory, used to be a regular guest of mine. He
Yeah.
was in the process while he was making Aliyah.
Mm-hmm.
And people he used to come down to the radio station, which was in East Orange, New Jersey, WFMU in those days, before you were born. And he was just making Aliyah, and it was very, very rough to go to Israel because there was no meat, and chicken was very expensive, and it was very difficult to get a hold of eggs.
Basically the same now.
And I don't think it's the same thing now. Maybe
meat's not great,
maybe the meat's
but-
not the same as it is in Gourmet Glatt, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So a woman called him up once and said, I can't go to Israel. There's no chicken. There's no eggs. And he said to her, so you won't eat chicken. So you won't eat eggs. You got to sacrifice for Eretz Yisrael.
These kids
you buy
don't know how
chicken
to-
for Shabbos.
these
You buy
kids don't
chicken for Shabbos.
They don't sacrifice.
No,
There's no sacrificing
Those restaurants
today.
are unbelievable.
There's
What's
no
going on there.
sacrificing
So you
today.
have kids in Israel yet? Almost.
So my son is not in Israel, but he's in yeshiva in Muncie.
In Muncie,
Which feels like Israel.
That's halfway to Israel.
It feels, honestly,
Yeah,
like I'll
yeah.
come home and it's a 2.5 hour drive, and I feel like I just took a trip somewhere
Yeah, I know, it's
very
a long
far.
way. It's a long way
Julie
to Muncie.
loves Israel, the
Yeah.
food scene in Israel, but second on Julie's list for food scenes, definitely Muncie.
Yeah, Muncie's.
She
I mean,
is
they're
a wonderland.
they're trying to really keep up with the 5 towns. It's,
They don't keep up with the 5 towns. They
Meaning-
surpass the 5 towns.
meaning they have a lot of stores that we have here. It's funny.
They have more. They have
More,
more.
and
I would
more,
say.
I've
and
noticed
more.
over the years
You know why they have more? Hasidim.
the restaurants in Muncie, they fill up a plate. You order fish or steak in Muncie,
Yeah.
it falls off the plate.
Right.
It's bigger than the plate.
Right.
Here, you have more plate than food.
It's
You
very
know?
fashionable.
So
Very aesthetic.
that's the difference between Muncie and the
And
five
the five
towns.
towns.
Maybe
Yeah.
even
Right.
between Muncie and Brooklyn. I don't know. I think it's very important to have a full plate.
But
Yes.
Because
it's
whatever's
like-
on the plate is falling off the edges of the plate.
Got it.
It gives you like a little bit of like a taste of Israel, because you'll go to like 7-Eleven or you'll go to the gas station and there's a full kosher section
Hot
in
dogs.
Exxon in Muncie.
So back to Israel for a second. We'll
Yeah.
get to the food. So your son's learning in Israel and he's doing very well, he tells
Thank
me.
God he
Okay.
is, yeah.
How many years do you expect him to be in Israel?
Oh my God, that's another thing. Standard used to be for boys maybe 2 years. There
Yeah.
are guys that are going Shana Dalet, Shana Hey.
So what is he talking about doing?
He's thinking 2 or 3.
2 or 3?
Right.
Uh-huh.
But when did that happen?
You're okay
When-
with that? Well,
Am I
listen,
okay?
he's
Definitely
becoming
definitely okay with 2.
he's becoming an adult.
Honestly,
And he's
girls don't have this kind of
he's getting more independent.
girls don't have this kind of like breathing room. They don't have this kind of
Girls go to Shana Bet.
like half a year, some, and honestly, I would say percentage wise, not even a very small fraction of girls. There's a lot more expectation. There's a lot more pressure for girls to start their life much younger, and guys, it's like he's only 20. We've got some time. And a girl is like, 21 and she has her master's and she has everything figured out and she's, good to go.
I once heard a rabbi in this community who teaches in both boys in the yeshivas and also in the girls' schools. And he said the difference between the girls and the boys is when a girl gets a 95, she's crying because she wanted a 99 or a
Not
100.
me.
When the boys get a 50, they go, "Hey, I knew half the work."
It's true.
That was
My boys always
fantastic.
come home and they're like,
My parents
I knew
would
we have to
just
work. 50. I
literally,
got a 50.
Like, my parents would like make a kiddush if I got over 65. They were just
So you were-
grateful.
you were-
Oh my God.
And
you
my
were a
mom
bad
used to-
student?
Julie's parents were the best cheerleaders.
Yeah, they were
So
like,
you
could
were
have.
you were a poor student in school? Is that what you're saying?
yes.
You were a bad student?
Let's put it that way.
So, but did you have a suspicion that secretly you were smart, but you just couldn't demonstrate it scholastically?
Wait, hold on. Is my husband
Did you feel
here?
that way?
Is my husband here?
I
might
would
beg-
love,
Should I
love
repeat
his
the question?
expression.
I would like
repeat
his
the question?
His Rashi Tosfos on this, but I think
Do you
that
think my question is, do you think you were smart, but you couldn't express it scholastically or
yes,
academically?
and I think that there wasn't.
It was like a secret. It
I
was a
think
well-kept
that
secret.
No, I think that the schools now, there's so many more options. Like if you have a certain niche, if you have a certain learning disability, they have schools that cater to these things today.
Yeah.
In our day, everyone was
Also,
just
like
pushed
the
into one
curriculum in
box.
schools
you
are
thought,
like
you thought you were learning
archaic.
disabled?
I think I had for sure like ADD,
ADHD?
ADD, focusing. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't think everyone fit into one box. Method was good, and today they don't.
By the way, it's not as bad anymore, but I would say a lot of schools won't even take certain children that have maybe a little bit of a, they're individual. They're just a little bit.
That's a different problem.
There's more. There's more options.
That's a big problem
There's
that
more
Malkie has
options
been
today.
discussing. I don't
Has
mean
he?
to constantly promoting meaningful people,
Yeah.
even though he's doing a great job.
Right.
But this business of these kids having to deal with rejection for
It's
seminary,
horrible.
And literally
or
not
for
having a school accept them.
And
Right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
September
that-
and they have nowhere to go.
Yeah, but schools here in New York or in
They're
the
all
United
guilty.
States or
Yeah.
anywhere where you live, less out of town than in New York, of course. It's not as competitive.
Right.
But in terms of seminary, that's a big
Big
life
problem.
Seminary, the
problem.
girls,
Big
the girls.
problem.
What months do they
But there's
find
so many
out? February, I
seminaries.
think, or March.
Yeah.
The girls they can't even go to school because their stomachs are like tied into like knots. No, literally.
Yeah.
For David, it was like all three yeshivas just accepted him. But it wasn't even like when he found out, he was like, oh, okay, great,
But he was a good student.
the
and a
the
good
seminary
kid.
business
The
though
boys-
for these girls, the expectations, the what you need to do, the hoops that you have to jump through to get them to accept you is like next level. So what's the solution? Is it because like there are too many girls, too few schools? There are so many schools I hear about when I, in passing, I'll talk to somebody that I just met and she'll be telling me that her daughter's in Israel. I'm like, oh, what school is she in? And she'll tell me a school and I'm like,
Yeah, never heard of it.
Yeah, they have new.
There's so many schools. So what's the
They have
problem?
as many schools as there are, words in the sitter. Or the
Yeah,
Chumash.
no joke.
I know.
You know,
No
base
joke.
bracious.
So why aren't kids getting in?
I don't know. I don't know. I know on the high school level, especially in New York, the high school as a unit wants to achieve a certain level. So they don't want to take in poor students. That's how they get boxed out of the schools.
Here's a concept. It's actually really crazy. Maybe.
You wanna start a
just
school?
maybe. No, I definitely don't
More
want to be an
Mal-
educator.
more
Maybe
Malkie.
just maybe these schools' job, nobody gave them the memo, but the school and seminary and college's job is to develop these children into their potential people. Why do you think I'm paying this kind of money? Because they come good to go? That is a perfect world scenario that actually does not exist, okay?
That's what I was saying a few minutes ago. You were disagreeing with that people you said high school is not important, but I say that they evolve into young adults and to adulthood.
They're supposed to be.
All right,
But
so
they don't.
that's the purpose of high
At least
school.
the school that you sent me to.
I don't want to attack anybody.
I didn't say any names.
This stuff goes on the blogosphere, on social media, and it stays there forever.
I know, but I'm not
if you-
saying names. I'm
if
just
you
saying
wanna-
my
if you wanna get
experience
it, If you want to
wasn't-
get it off somehow, you got to pay somebody a lot
I'm
of money.
not saying anything negative. I'm just saying my personal experience, the way I saw it, it wasn't an ideal fit for me. But back then,
That was all there
20-something
was.
years ago, there weren't a lot of options.
Right, that's what I was saying.
And
I'll
by the
tell you-
way, I was a good kid. Didn't get thrown out of anything.
No,
I was
you
fine.
were all good kids.
And
There's
also
no
the
question
school
about
that
it.
you went to back then, it's
Yeah.
probably not even similar to the school it is now. Like
Definitely not.
These schools evolve and
Definitely
change.
not.
The
Yeah.
school that I went
You
to
know-
growing up, my kids are like, "Mommy, you went there?" Like it's just funny how
Oh,
Mommy, is it even a
I'll ask
Jewish
you.
school?
I'll ask you after we stop recording what school that was.
Oh, okay.
But I want you to know that once these things go up online,
Yeah.
it stays on there forever, and you have to pay a lot of money to get it down if you want to.
Yeah.
A few years ago, it was a woman in one of the communities in the New York
Okay.
area had a baby, and she had to send me a picture with her parents and her and her husband holding the baby, and then she called me like 2 years later after the thing was around the paper. She said, "Listen, I went back to work. I'm an attorney. I had an interview at a law firm,
Oh my
and I told
gosh.
them I don't have any children because I was afraid they're not gonna hire me. If they're gonna look online, if they're gonna look online, they're gonna see. They're gonna open up the paper and see a picture of me holding a baby at the breast at the circumcision on page 67.
I mean, if
you
we're in
know?
the business of lying, she could just say it's her nephew.
Well, no, but it said that there was the bris of her son. So
Oy, that's terrible.
anyway, so I had a guy on the PDF of the paper
Yeah.
that each week is online.
Yeah.
It was on page 67. I had them take out page 67 from that issue.
My
So
That's incredible.
that's the best I can do.
That's crazy.
Wouldn't you love to do that? Like just erase like a certain like outfit you wore one time.
But by
from,
the
like,
way, just so you know, I think that, the social media aspect of our world, which is all consuming, is a double-edged sword. I think that there are incredible things that are,
Going on, yeah.
incredible advantages to it. But at the same time, I really do miss the
simplicity
of growing up and not everybody knowing your business the minute it happens,
But I think that's why her account is popular and people love watching.
'Cause it's not-
It's very real, nothing staged. And I always say, like, when
And honestly, it's food.
who
doesn't
no,
love food?
but you do your life too. You do very natural things.
Well, as
day
you
to
know,
day.
my father was a journalist, starting in the 1940s and 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, and in the Yiddish press.
Yeah.
And there was only one Anglo-Jewish newspaper, the Jewish Press, in those days.
Okay.
No such thing as the internet.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a Yiddish newspaper, and you're talking about a big community of Yiddish speakers because they were Holocaust survivors
Right.
largely, and the influence and the power that a Yiddish paper have today, they're not printing anymore
No.
because there's no market for it.
Really?
But the
Not even
influence,
in Borough
the
Park and-
influence that I was telling somebody last week, talking about whether they should advertise in newspaper or they should advertise online, and I discovered myself
Yeah.
as I was talking to them, and I said this to them as if I knew it for a long time, but I probably did know it for a long time, but the information was buried somewhere
Yeah.
in my head. But reading a newspaper like the Five Towns Jewish Times is more powerful reading it on Shabbos or Yantiv than if you see an ad on social media.
Right.
Because you could be looking at an ad and your phone rings, then you get a click from your WhatsApp,
No,
and then
I
you get a
agree.
message,
Yeah.
then you get a message, and
Yeah.
then you get a phone call. That doesn't happen on Shabbos or
Right.
Yantiv.
No,
I
thank
wrote about
God
this a
for
couple weeks ago,
Shabbos.
if you remember.
Yes, that's where I got the
Thank
idea
The
probably.
only,
Yes.
yeah, really?
No, I knew it. I recognized that
You can
before.
give me credit.
But Pesach is going to be 3-day Yontif coming up.
Wow.
It's going to be
Get
Thursday,
ready, advertisers.
Thursday, Friday, and
Get
Shabbos.
ready.
We have an ad that we always run in the paper that says Big Bonanza, 3-day Yontif coming up, and then Shavuos. If you look down the calendar, because my people that work in the back end always talked. They called me last week to discuss Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur schedule
It's
for
like
next year.
it's like clothing designers that are working on the season for 2026.
She
already.
calls me. She says she
Right.
wants to go over the schedule. I said, okay, maybe she wants to go over the schedule for New Year's, Christmas, and
Crazy.
President's Week.
Yeah.
No, Rosh Hashanah comes out on this and this
Oh,
date.
boy.
Well, and then the problem is I think Tisha B'Av is on a Tuesday, and then also see Purim is on a Monday night and a Tuesday. So we have to work around those things.
It's amazing. It's crazy, and you're very, very right. You're obviously spot on with what you said.
But
About social media.
the information highway was empty, like the
Yes.
highways on Christmas Day or
Yeah.
on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
My guys who deliver the newspaper, their favorite day to deliver the newspapers,
right.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. There's nobody on the road except
There's nobody
them.
on the road today, and it's
It's
funny because we're in a
amazing.
from community.
And What
Right.
takes them 6 hours to do during the regular week
Yeah.
takes them an hour to do.
That's why,
Right.
like, when my son, who just got his license, and I'm so
License to what? To drive?
drive,
To drive.
hopefully
Not
not
a
to
CDL,
kill.
not an 18-wheeler.
No, but like I literally, I don't know how my parents did it because I see how nervous I am, and he's like, "Can I take the car?" And I'm like, "Today, no problem," because
Okay.
there's no one
There's
on the
nobody
road.
on the road.
But like during the week,
That'll be a problem.
I'm crazy.
Just watch
Yeah.
out doesn't get a CDL.
Oh,
You
what's
know,
CDL?
What's that?
Commercial driver's license.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably not on his list
but
of,
if he could read road signs, he'd be ahead of the game.
Professional
That's
goals.
true. That's true.
Okay, listen, we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
We just talked about a lot of things.
Yeah, we really went on a bunch of
without
tangents.
Any
Yes, we were.
Right?
without
We
any-
hit many
without-
bases.
Without
We did.
any real structure. The plan is to pick up from where we left off.
Okay.
If we could remember next time we're here
Yeah.
where we left off.
Sounds great.
Anyway, thank you very much, Malkie.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
GHM. Malkie Gordon Hirsch Magence and Julie
MGHM.
Holzer.
Do not add any more letters. That's it.
I would like to just
Enough.
keep it. Yes.
Okay.
Amen.
All right, GHM. Okay, thank you very
MGHM.
much for coming
Wait,
in.
can I get a thing?
JL.
I'll think
I'll
about
be
it.
JB.
JTL.
JBH. I'm a Holzer now.
Right.
You're what?
My last name is Holzer.
Yeah. and
JB.
What's your maiden name?
Turkel.
JB.
Turkel.
JBTH.
JDP.
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 Oh, P.
No, B.
B. Oh, that's Beth. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Oh, Beth. Okay, like I said, we'll pick it up next time.
Bye,
Yes.
guys.
We'll
Okay,
figure that
thanks
out.
for joining us.
Thank
this
you.
is I'm Larry Gordon. This is the Five Towns Jewish Times podcast. A little bit of a new direction this week. We'll see how it works out. Thanks for joining us.